It was a crisp autumn morning when I first heard about the unsolved case of the missing hiker. I had recently moved to the small, picturesque town of Willow Creek, nestled deep in the heart of the dense, foreboding forest. The locals whispered about the case in hushed tones, as if they feared they would be the next ones to vanish. At first, I dismissed the rumors as nothing more than small-town gossip. But the longer I stayed in Willow Creek, the more intrigued I became. It was impossible to ignore the air of unease that hung over the town like a dark, suffocating cloud. I couldn't help but feel drawn to the mystery of the missing hiker. The story went like this. A young man named Daniel had ventured into the woods one fateful afternoon. An experienced outdoorsman, he had set off on a solo hiking trip, intent on conquering the treacherous trails that snaked through the forest. Despite his expertise, Daniel never returned. Search parties were organized, volunteers scoured the woods for weeks, but no trace of Daniel was ever found. I decided to do some digging of my own. I spoke to Daniel's friends and family, retraced his steps, and even ventured deep into the forest, searching for any clues that might explain his mysterious disappearance. The more I learned, the more I felt a sense of dread creeping over me. It was during one of my solo expeditions into the woods that I stumbled upon something truly chilling. As I trudged through the damp, mossy undergrowth, I spotted a dilapidated shack, half hidden by the dense foliage. My heart raced as I approached the structure, the hair on the back of my neck standing on end. The shack's door creaked ominously as I pushed it open, revealing a cramped, dimly lit room. The walls were adorned with strange cryptic symbols that I couldn't quite decipher. In the middle of the room lay a dusty, tattered notebook. As I gingerly flipped through its pages, my blood ran cold. The notebook belonged to Daniel. In it, he had meticulously documented his own descent into madness. It detailed his strange encounters with unseen forces, the horrifying nightmares that plagued his sleep, and the eerie whispers that haunted him in the woods. The final entry was a desperate plea for help, followed by the unnerving words, "They're coming for me." I slammed the notebook shut, my hands trembling. The silence in the shack was shattered by an unsettling rustle in the bushes outside. Heart pounding, I cautiously peered through the gaps in the wooden walls. I saw nothing, but I could feel the presence of something or someone lurking just beyond the shadows. I bolted from the shack, sprinting through the forest as fast as my legs would carry me, the eerie whispers echoing in my ears. I didn't stop until I reached the safety of my home in Willow Creek. I never ventured into the woods again, too terrified of what I had discovered. To this day, the case of the missing hiker remains unsolved, and the townspeople continue to whisper about the horrors that lurk in the shadows of the forest.